Coming in hot from Arizona, this is Trevor
and Troy Howard.
And you're on SoTellUs Time. You can have everything you want in your business. Sometimes you just need a little help.
Every business owner would love to charge more for their services, but sometimes you can sacrifice long-term loyalty for a short-term profit.
Creating the right rituals is key to your business having success.
Are you tired of competing with your competitors? Guess what? You don't have to compete if you create.
Hello and welcome to this episode of SoTellUs Time, where we help you and your business focus on the things that make a difference, the things that matter, and let the things that don't go. So sit back, relax, close your eyes. Oh, wait, don't do that. You're probably driving.
Yeah.
Don't close your eyes.
Don't close your eyes.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of SoTellUs Time. We're so excited to be here with you guys. This is going to be a fun episode. In fact, today's episode is called Expose Yourself.
No.
What? No. Yes, expose yourself. Get that trench coat and expose yourself. No, don't get the trench coat on and expose yourself. You're going to end up in jail. But we are going to be talking about exposing yourself just in a different way, a legal and appropriate way that doesn't get you put on as a pedophile for the rest of your life.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you do the whole trench coat thing, you're gonna have a different business. It's gonna be trading, selling cigarettes in jail or something.
Cigarettes and ramen.
Yeah,
that's right.
So no, don't stick with your current business.
Stick with your current business, but let me teach you how to expose yourself in your business. That still sounds bad. Don't expose yourself in your business. How to expose your business. How
there
about
you
that?
Go.
Let's talk about exposing your business to all of those potential customers, right?
I like it.
So actually this one is spurred because Troy said to me, hey, you just did this big long cross-country trip where you were meeting with some new potential clients on the other side of the country. And you did all this traveling. I went through I think those 13 states.
Wow.
And a lot of times, as we're traveling, that's where we come up with a lot of, our topics, not to mention what's happening daily in our own business or what's happened in the past. But we go out and we are consulting with businesses. We are experiencing these different things. And then it triggers and we're like, oh, yeah, we should talk about this because I guarantee our audience, our people, our SoTellUs timers are experiencing this as well. So Troy says, what did you experience on this trip that we can talk about? And I was like, nothing. Nothing at all. But in thinking about what I could have talked about from the trip, it exposed an idea from my mind that was prior to me going on vacation or over to visit with these people and bring on these new clients. So I was actually at what's called a food truck rally or whatever they are. It's a bunch of food trucks and they come and they circle their wagons and you show up. You walk around, you pick the food you want. It's kind of fun. There's usually drink places, dessert places, food places, and you get to just have a good time. There's usually music outside and little vendors and all sorts of stuff. It's a fun and awesome time. If you've never done a food truck rally, you should check your local area. It's a good time. It's a good place to take a date. But as I walked around this food truck rally, I noticed one huge mistake that I just wanted to scream at these people. And I'm like, you're so stupid. I should open up a food truck because I would crush all of you from this one thing. I would crush you all. The thing I noticed, and I'm going to premise this with, there were a lot of trucks without lines and people, excuse me. And there was a bunch of trucks with big lines.
Right. Huh. I wonder what the difference was.
Well, I started to think that. I said, what's the difference between these different trucks? The majority didn't have big, long lines. And then the minority had big, long lines. There was just a few of them. And I was like, wow, what's the difference? So I'm sitting there and I'm looking at them and I'm comparing and I'm doing some analyzing of these trucks. And the big thing I noticed, the number one reason, I guarantee it, the trucks that didn't have lines had no pictures of their food. You have this huge billboard, which is your truck. Your food truck is your huge billboard.
Yeah.
And they had no pictures of any of their food on the truck. Then you look at the ones that had big, long lines, and they had all their food. They had their best looking food. And let me tell you, believe me, these were like commercial grade. You know, like how in commercials you wouldn't actually eat that food because they've sprayed it with like hairspray and it's like all funky. And, you know, I that whole, you know, McDonald's thing where they just made the food look amazing. And then you get there and you're like, this is poop. Why am I here? So they had their food all over their trucks. And those ones had big, long lines. And that's the thing. It got me thinking. I'm like, that's because people want to see it. I want to know. Like, if you don't have your food on your food truck, you're probably a friggin' roach coach. That's what I'm thinking. Like, but then I go over and I look at the brick pizza oven place, and they've got these delicious looking gourmet pizzas, you know, a la carte, build it how you want it. And then they fire brick it in their, you know, stone cookers. And they were awesome. They looked great. And then I went over and there was this Mexican restaurant one that had these delicious looking carne asada tacos and fish tacos and all this stuff. And these were the ones that had all the lines. There was a dessert one that had all the lines. And then there was even a drink one that had like, it was pictures of the drinks, but from kind of above at an angle. So you could see these different colorful drinks that they had. And these were the ones that had all the long lines. And then you had all these other places. It's like, I don't want to have to imagine what my green chili burger is going to look like. I want to see it.
Yeah.
And I want that to reiterate in my mind and say, confirm to myself, like, yeah, that's what I want to eat. Because I might look at it and go, man, I really want a green chili burger. But then I can't see what it looks like, and it could be disgusting. But then I look over here, and maybe there's another green chili burger over here, and they've got a big picture of it, and it looks awesome, and it looks juicy, and their French fries look amazing. Boom. I'm going to walk over there, and I'm going to purchase from them. So that is what spurred that big long story that took like 8 minutes is what spurred today's whole podcast. Don't worry, the rest of the podcast isn't super long, but it is going to be very important. So pay attention. You need to have this in your mind when you're doing your marketing. How do you expose your business, your successes, right? All of that, your happiest customers. Troy, go ahead, take it away.
Yeah, so we're just going to give you a couple of examples of today of ways that you can create that exposure, right? That you can show your potential customers why they want to choose you. First and foremost, this is going to be really easy, photos and videos of your products and services, right? So it's not that hard. You're doing jobs all the time, right? So just take a picture or take a video of the work that you've done, or if it's a product that you're selling, make sure you take really good pictures of those products. There's even like kits that you can buy on Amazon for, you know, how to photograph, like the stuff you need to photograph products and make them look really good. So you want to make sure you have, you know, those photos and especially videos. Because depending on what your service is, people may want to watch a video of it.
Well, and let me give you an example. So let's just say one of your things is going to be like a stain remover. Okay. So instead of just sticking the bottle on there or just talking about your stain remover as a bullet point, why not take a really nice picture of the actual stain remover? I know that the bottle's probably not anything fancy, right? But especially if it has your label on it, or even if it has somebody else's label on it because you're purchasing it from a third party, that's okay. It's just to drive in their minds, stain remover, they see the picture, stain remover. It's the same concept as people's websites, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we're talking about here too, is in your marketing, and one of those pieces is your website. You have 3 seconds to make sure that people understand they are on the right website. And how do you do that? You don't just do it with words. You reaffirm that with picture or video so that they see it. It just needs to make sense. I'm talking about stain remover. I see stain remover. This is all about stain remover. Subconsciously, you want your clients to be like, this all makes sense.
Yep, exactly. And actually, I'm glad that you brought up websites, because it was making me, I was just thinking about a couple of our clients. We have a client, Kyle, who's in Castle Rock. He's a carpet cleaner, TLC Carpet Care. And the first thing you see when you visit his website is a cup of coffee. It's a video falling and hitting the carpet.
That's awesome.
And like right off the bat, you're like, oh, you got to get that carpet cleaned. right?
So
Another
cool.
one is Heaven's Best, and on we designed their website, and on their website they have a plate of spaghetti hitting the carpet.
Yeah, it's a
And
good
again,
one.
like right off the bat, you're like, oh man, they got to get their carpets cleaned. So video is a great way,
Yeah.
in your marketing to get that message across very quickly. And again, that also segues into, hey, if you just made a video of carpet, the spaghetti hitting the carpet, now let's make a video of you cleaning it and showing the before and after, right? So it's really good if your service is a before and after kind of service that makes sure that you're getting those before and after photos and before and after videos,
Right.
because that is a great way to just instantly show your potential customers, this is probably what you have right now, and this is what it's going to look like when I'm done.
Exactly. That's awesome.
So that's a good way to do it. Another thing that's really important, and we've talked about this in several of our podcasts, is displaying your reviews on your websites and in
Yep.
all of your marketing, right?
Yep.
Take those experience of your customers and use that in your marketing, especially if you're getting video reviews through SoTellUs. And I want to tell you a little
100%.
story about that. I had a wonderful interview with one of our clients last week, Jason and Christina. They're from Gulf Coast Pressure Washing, and it was a really, really cool experience to talk to them. We're actually probably going to release that video for people to learn from it, but to give you kind of a little bit of a background on them, Jason is a full-time firefighter. Christina is a full-time elementary teacher.
It's awesome.
They started a pressure washing company to make some extra income.
Which I love, because it's like you're not already busy enough. You both have 2 full-time jobs.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. But they wanted to make a little bit of extra income.
That's awesome.
And they, instead of, trying to put in extra hours at work,
Yeah.
they decided to start a business which would have unlimited growth,
That's awesome.
and they're doing an amazing job. One of the things that they do, even though they're only part-time, is they get tons of before and after pictures.
Mhm.
They get tons of before and after videos. And then they're getting a ton of video reviews using SoTellUs.
Yeah. And what does he calls it? Calls something?
Oh, yeah. So he has what he calls the super review,
Yeah.
which is when he tries to, before he leaves a house, he tries to get a video review, a Google review, and a Facebook review
That's
from
so
them.
awesome.
All at the same time
big
before he
three.
leaves the house. The big 3. So he calls that a super review,
That's
and he
awesome.
does it all the time. Like I watch
So good.
I watch him do it. It's amazing. But what they do is they then not only just take these pictures and these videos and stuff, but his wife actually, after she gets home from teaching school and dinner's done with the kids, and then she goes and she takes these pictures and she takes these video reviews and she makes little videos out of them, with their company logo in it and their phone number. And then she utilizes that in their marketing.
So
So they put it on their social media sites. They put these videos on their website. They put them on, I believe, YouTube is where they're publishing them as well. And then they actually send them out to potential clients.
That's awesome.
Hey, check out this video. And so let me just tell you what this has done for their business,
So cool.
right?
So cool.
They're exposing their work.
Yeah.
They're making sure people see the results that they give. And I talked to them just the other day, and Jason and Christina told me that they just landed a 3-year contract to clean 1,100 windows every 6 months.
That's awesome.
It's, I believe, 5 commercial buildings,
Yeah.
1,100 windows. And the crazy thing is, or the great thing is, the first thing the person said when they called them on the phone was, my boss checked out all your reviews and video reviews, and we want you to bid this job.
That's awesome.
And it was a very select number of people that bid it, and they nailed it, and they got it because
That's awesome.
they stood out, right? They exposed their work, and they got the huge contract over everybody else.
And what's cool is that they are making more money part-time than some of these guys and gals that are doing it full-time.
Yeah.
Out there. They're crushing it. And that's just a testament to what we're talking about, that this is how it works.
Yeah.
Like if you will do these things, if you will, really, how many businesses are out there that they're not presenting them, right?
Mhm.
Themselves correctly. They're not exposing themselves correctly to all of their potential customers. So it's very easy for the companies that come in and do it right to just swoop in and pick up all the jobs.
Yeah, absolutely. So now I'm going to give you an example of someone who didn't do a good job. And so another way to expose your business, especially if you're in the service industry,
call you out.
or you're driving, well, actually any business can have it, right? What it is vehicle wraps. So, you see a lot think about when you're driving around town, you see a lot of vehicle wraps for different businesses. And some vehicle wraps are awesome.
Yep.
And some vehicle wraps are not.
Yeah.
And I have this truck that I drive behind a lot because they live out where I'm at, and they drive into, where our office is, like in this area. So, once or twice a week, I see this truck on my way to work.
Yeah.
And what's interesting, so it was so interesting to me, I took a picture one time driving.
Troy showed me.
And so I want you to imagine kind of a lifted truck, and on the back of the truck, on the tailgate, what it says in huge letters is "Want $120,000 in free advertising?" ?
Yeah.
Right? And you're like, oh, yeah, of course.
I mean, it was funny because Troy showed me the picture, and the very first thing I said was, well, who is it and what do they do?
That's it. That's all that's on the tailgate is that question. Want $120,000 in free advertising?
Yeah.
And then it doesn't tell you anything. It doesn't give you a website address to go to. It doesn't give you a phone number to go to. It doesn't tell you what type of marketing they're talking about. That's it. And so I was like, what the heck? And so I actually sped up and got around this truck the very first time I saw this, because I'm like, I need to figure this out, right? So I had to speed up, get around him. And then on the side, I saw, oh, okay, it's a company that does vehicle wraps.
Yeah. Well, and they have on the back window, but we didn't notice it until we zoomed in on the picture. In the bottom right corner, it said something about vehicle wraps, right?
Yeah.
But that's all you could see. That's all that we could see from the picture Troy took, because Troy's in a nice car, right? He's in this really nice car. So he's not super lifted or high. He's low to the ground. Yeah. And so all you saw was this $120,000 in free advertising. And then you just saw vehicle wraps in the corner. Now, when we zoomed in on the picture, we could see there was more wording there. So Troy looked at the next time.
Yep.
And it was like a website address.
It was their website address. But
you couldn't even freaking see it.
You couldn't see it. Yeah. Unless you were a lifted truck high enough above it to actually look down on it. Then you would see their website address,
which is hilarious.
And it just blew my mind, because I'm like, here is a vehicle wrap company. Yeah. This is their job, right?
I would never go with them.
Yeah. And they were close. They had the right idea.
Mm-hmm.
They had a good message of, hey, everyone wants $120,000 in free, advertising.
Yeah.
But they just missed the mark because they didn't expose what was the most important thing, which is how to get a hold of them, right?
Well, and in all reality, too, the whole $120,000 thing. I mean, anybody that stops and thinks, oh, this company's really going to give me $120,000 in free marketing? That's amazing. No, that's not going to happen.
No.
It's really not that. So anybody, it's just that feels like a bait and switch type situation
totally.
Right there. So anybody that knows anything or has common sense goes, I'm not interested in them. And then they look at the wrap, and from our perspective, we're like, yeah, and you suck at your job. So
yeah, exactly. So that's another way to do it. Vehicle wraps is it can be a great way, if you do it correctly, to get that exposure all the time. Another thing is, and we're just going to talk about one, social media, but we're going to talk about one in specific today, which is YouTube. Now, don't get all excited and think you're going to retire and become a YouTube influencer. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about creating an income stream off of YouTube, but using YouTube as a way to showcase your services and the results to your potential customers, right? Because the majority of people are not going to become YouTube famous.
No.
And most businesses are not going to become YouTube famous.
Unless you're going to beat yourself up or launch yourself off of something or shoot yourself out of something. Or I saw one the other day where the kids were telling me about this dude goes around and just gives away tons of money.
Oh, yeah. Mr. Beast.
There you go. Yeah, Troy knows who he is. I didn't even know what his name was, but sounds familiar now.
Oh, yeah. So, but what we're talking about is it's a great way to create, you're creating content. You're hopefully creating these videos. Put those videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
Make them available for anybody that wants to look for your services and then direct people to them, right?
No.
Again, you're not going to organically get millions of people checking out your YouTube channel and your YouTube videos. So you need to direct them. And a great way to direct them, again, is through the marketing on your website, through flyers that you're handing out. It can be through your emails when you send an email out. Hey, check out our YouTube video. Check out our YouTube channel.
Excuse me. What's great is you can put them on your website.
Yep.
You know, you have them out for anybody to find. So if someone's looking up pressure washing, if somebody's looking up window cleaning, if someone's looking up home inspections, I mean, I pretty much go to YouTube for everything. I usually start with YouTube to see if there's videos on it. And then I go to the internet to like see if like I can find out more information.
Yeah,
if I don't find
crap,
what I
there's
want.
not a video, so I guess I'm going to have to read something.
That's exactly right. That's my personality.
Totally. Absolutely. I get that. So YouTube's another great way to do it. All right. Those are just a few examples of ways that you can expose yourself, but there's hundreds of other ways that you can do it. So, Trevor, do you want to hit the homework for the day?
Let's hit the homework for today as I choke to death over here, but only my YouTubers will know that. Apparently, I'm choking on my water. All right. Today's homework. You want to pick one way this week. Pick one way this week that you can legally expose yourself to the right people.
Yes.
You want to find a way to legally expose yourself, meaning your business as well, to the right people so that they want to do business with you. And I think this, if you really pay attention, this one will get your mind spinning. It should get you thinking. Because as soon as I saw it and caught it in the food trucks, I was like, dude, I'm going to go relook at everything we're doing. Because if it's as simple as that, it's the same way for me. Like, what are we not showing that we do that's really important? Or what are we showing well? Or are we showing anything, you know? And so we did. We've even been changing some things up with that. So these are all things that we're utilizing in our own businesses every single day, week, month, year, things we've experienced before. That's why we share them with you guys. We love you. We appreciate you. Please keep listening. Please keep watching. Please keep sharing us. And we will catch you guys on the next episode of SoTellUs Time.